Hey everybody, it is Uber Typhlosion. I am back, and sorry, one second. Um, sorry. So this game Duelyst, I've always wanted like a spiritual successor to like Phantasy Star Online 3 Card Battle or whatever it was called. Um, it was where you played like a summoner or a hunter. Hunters had equipment and fought summoners, and summoners summoned creatures. It was basically a TCG, a trading card game, but when you summoned creatures, they had to move around on like a chessboard. Um, and you still won, like in most card games, except for Pokemon, by destroying the other player. But of course, your monsters had to walk to the champion, or you had to get to the champion and kill them. Um, and um, it's really, really cool. So I'm going to real fast show you the deck I've been using, and then I will play just a game and show you. So I named it this because I didn't know what I was doing. I thought it was any bad. So I'm going to name it this Big Ass Monsters. So I haven't spent like any money on Spheres yet. I'm going to because the game is free to download, and I really, really want to support them. They're really cool. I sent them a message, giving them a lot of feedback on the game, and how I felt about it, and they sent an email back to me. Not even like a Dear John one, just like a little short email, not only expressing how happy they were that I was enjoying it, being like, we really hope that you enjoy what we're going to keep doing. And this game's a lot of fun. So again, with just like the basic, all these packs, all this deck I made is only from either gold I got from laddering, doing my dailies for 2 days. I've only been playing for 2 days, and then the gold I got for doing all the challenges, which can get you like 5 or 6, maybe even more booster packs just from doing those. It's literally the same exact cost for packs. It's basically the same exact free to play model as Hearthstone, which a lot of people say is like probably the most fair free to play because it is a card game, and that's how card games work. It's not pay to win because it's a TCG. You don't go to a Pokemon tournament and go, "Damn, this game's pay to win." Well, of course it is. It's a trading card game. Just because it's digital, it's still a trading card game. That's my outlook. That's not the point. Okay, basic rundown, real fast. This is your general. Every single faction, there's 6 up here. They all have unique mechanics that are unique to them. In a different video, I will go over that. Um, this is the Magmar general. Every single general, at least as of right now, has 2 attack and 25 health. And if this person dies, you lose. And they start already on the battlefield. Now, this deck is all about playing little things and making them big. So we have Greater Fortitude, which gives our minion a friendly minion +2/+2. This gives a minion +1 attack and Frenzy. I'm only running one of this because it's a very situational card, and there's a lot of cycling in this game where you can keep flipping through cards. So one of is okay. It's 40 card decks, by the way, as you can see up here, 40 cards. What Frenzy does is when something does damage, when something attacks, it deals its damage not only to its target, who will then retaliate, but then it deals its damage to everything around it, and those things cannot retaliate. And just like in Hearthstone, when you run 2 monsters into each other, they'll both receive damage. Healing Mystic is a 2/3. Opening Gambit is just like Battle Cry, or when it enters the battlefield. When Healing Mystic enters the battlefield, she's going to give 2 health to a minion or general of my choice. Natural Selection just destroys any minion with the lowest attack. The reason why this is good, even though I don't have complete control over who has the lowest attack at any given point, is because since this deck has so many buffs, usually something that has lower attack than my stuff is out there. Primus Fist is a minion that, again, gives everything +1 attack when it enters. Earthwalkers, Grow means that at the beginning of each of your turns, Grow will activate. In this one, it'll get +1/+1. This gives a minion +2/+2. Nearby means it has to be in a space touching it. Repulsor Beast is a really good card, and I think it'll probably be a 3 of in every deck for a very long time, because it lets you summon it and then pick a minion up, an enemy minion up, and put it anywhere. So it's a good way to just shove things away that you can't deal with at the moment and make them walk all the way across. Rush is basically charge or haste. It can do something immediately. I have them in here because they're basically like early game removal, and a good way to get lethal on your opponent. Windrunner is pretty cool. After he's done moving, he buffs things around him. Adamantite Claws, I only have 2 of these for some reason. I didn't know that. They give my general +4 attack. I think the main reason why there's only 2 of these is because you don't really want your general to take damage constantly, and when you attack stuff, you are going to be taking damage back. So, not the best. Chrysalis Burst is a legendary spell. Again, they use the same colors as most RPGs do to represent rares and legendaries and epics. This summons 4 random eggs. Eggs are one of the unique mechanics of the Magmar faction, and all of these lizardy people you see here all have the ability to pop out of eggs. And this, of course, they can hatch into things that you also don't own. You know, it doesn't have to be something in your deck. It'll just spawn 4 things, and they're usually very, very, very worth the 4 mana. I have 1 Grimrock because sometimes you just need a big dude. He's a big dude. These are in here. Provoke. They're in here as kind of a control tool. So what Provoke means is when you play the minion down, any minion adjacent to it that's an enemy not only cannot walk away from it, but can't attack anything but the minion provoking it. So it's basically taunt. Say you played World of Warcraft or any other MMO that had the tank and spank mechanic. It's basically taunt. You're forcing something to fight you, and Provoke is the same thing. Colossus is a one of for now because again it's a card I'm testing. But it's +4/+4 grow, and that's not too bad at all. Plasma Storm, destroy minions with 3 or less attack. This is usually fine because most of the time the only minions we're worried about keeping around are minions that have more than 3 attack. Death Blighter is again a little more removal because it does 3 damage to any enemies around it when it enters the battlefield. This is a good way to clear off little shit. Cantor Warbeast, this I'd probably have more of if I owned more, because it's a very, very good card. Being able to act immediately and do damage to everything around it is really, really good. Storm Metal Golem is a vanilla 8/8 that is in here because it's a big dude, and like I said, I've only been playing for literally 2 days, so I need what I can get. Bounded Life Force is one of our finishers. Your general becomes a 10/10. So yes, your health will drop will drop to 10 if it's not. Say I am still at 20 health and I play this, I'm going to go down to 10 health. But what this means is all we need to do is get our opponent to 10 life, and then activate this, and then hit them with our general, and they'll die. So very, very good card. It's also kind of an emergency heal. I mean, say you get down to 4 HP, and it's like neck and neck, and you cast this, and also now you're a 10/10. Your chances of winning are much higher. And then Slithar Elder is one of our big, scary dudes. He's an 8/8 that has rebirth. One second. So what this means is the reason why it's amazing that his rebirth is at the end of your turn. So, well, rebirth means when he dies. Sorry, there's 2 mechanics here. Rebirth means when he dies, he turns into an egg. Unless the egg is killed, it'll hatch back into this guy. And he has the ability at the end of the turn, he summons an egg that, if it hatches, becomes another one of this. So it's a really, really, really sticky, scary card. Now we're going to go ahead and jump into a game real fast. Alright, here we go. We're going to pick our deck, and we're going to enter. Oh, okay, never mind. So this faction we're fighting against uses a lot of like backstab mechanics, a lot of like teleporting units around the battlefield, stuff like that. Their units have abilities like if they attack you from behind, they do bonus damage and they can't be counterattacked, etc., etc. I think this is okay to keep, because this guy will get big, this guy will buff him. We'll see. We're going second, so we'll have 3 mana on our first turn. So it's not too bad. So this is the board. Every single unit, unless it's specified otherwise, can move 2 spaces on their turn. Whenever you gather one of these orbs, they're removed permanently from the battlefield, and you gain 1 extra mana crystal for that for the rest of the turn. This guy gets buffed when he casts spells. I guess I could just cast this here. Alright. At the end of your turn, you draw 2 cards. You don't draw in the beginning, you draw at the end. Both first and second players start with 3 cards in their hand. You can hold up to 6. Unlike other games where you can overdraw your hand and at the end of your turn you either discard them, or like a Hearthstone's mechanic is you burn cards. In this one, you will draw 2 cards or until your hand is full, and then once your hand is full, you won't draw anymore. So he's gonna go ahead and remove this minion. He doesn't want me to have it, which makes sense. It is a pretty scary minion. He's summoning a lot of stuff, which is completely fine with me. So we're going to go ahead and remove this. Ranged minions can attack anything on the battlefield. Oh. This is not a ranged minion. I always thought Jaxi was a 2/2 ranged minion. But it summons a 1/1 ranged minion in a corner, which can be a pain in the butt, but it's fine. So go ahead and just kill her. And then we'll play our cleric. I think that's what she is, whatever she is. We'll play her. We're going to go ahead and heal us. Oops. There we go. Go ahead and heal us. We're going to cycle this card and see what we get here. I'm getting a little bit of lag for some reason. Okay, nice. Do we want to buff her? Yeah, I think we might as well. Just in case. And since we're behind her, she can't get backstabbed. So this should be okay for us. Oh, perfect. So see, this spell's going to be really good, because say he floods the board. We have 5 mana next turn. So if he was to like flood the board with minions, and somehow our minion didn't die, this would only kill his stuff. So we should be okay. This class, or this faction, a lot of their at least faction minions seem to have low attack that can be buffed with spells. So I think we're going to be okay as of right now. I don't really want to cast this board wipe this early, but a lot of their class mechanic is based around doing tons of combos with cards, kind of like the Rogue in Hearthstone. They're definitely Rogue inspired, you can tell by how they backstab and stuff like that. So, yeah. We'll probably use this next turn, just to kill that guy. So I'm thinking we walk over here. Can we do both of these? We can do both of these. I guess we'll get rid of this. Oh, go on. What do we get? This is my internet. For some reason, it's being stupid right now. The game doesn't normally have issues like that, where it's like, well, I'm just gonna think for a moment. That's definitely on my end, so I apologize for that. Let's go ahead and just remove this minion. Now, whenever you equip an artifact, they, at least as of right now, all of them have 3 durability. The durability doesn't go away when you use it, it goes away when you take damage. So anytime anything does damage to you, it loses a tick, and once all 3 ticks are gone, it will break. You can equip a bunch of artifacts on at one time, but the danger with that is you risk them all breaking simultaneously. Because basically, say you just throw a bunch of artifacts on yourself, then as soon as you take 3 hits of damage, they're all broken. So, not the best. Oh, he is definitely going for not letting me, he's definitely going to try to kill me with some spells here, it seems. We're going to go ahead and remove that Jaxi, because she's a bit annoying. I'm going to get rid of this Provoke minion, because I don't need him. We're going to kill this. And then I'm going to go do damage to his face. And that way we can do some damage on these too. He's in a corner. Backstab 4. So like this is the problem, because what backstab 4 means is when it's behind, if it gets behind me and attacks, it gets 4 bonus attacks. So that's a 6/5 basically. And not only is it a 6/5, but it has flying, which means that it can move anywhere it wants on the battlefield at any time. So as much as I don't want to cast this right now, I think we have to deal with that minion. But we're going to cycle this guy because he's not going to be as useful now. And that's okay. So let's go ahead and just cast this now. Let's attack him to keep breaking his artifacts. Sadly, we didn't draw any 2-cost cards. That's the only board wipe I have in this deck, sadly, too. Alright, so again, Provoke Minion isn't really going to be that useful here. We're going to go ahead and walk down. We're going to kill this 1/1. And then I think we're going to summon the 3/4 above him to try to trap him in. And then we're going to summon this 3/3 below him. And we're going to let these start growing. He's got 4 cards in hand, and with the recycle mechanic, he could definitely find some way to deal with these. But the whole point of this deck is you play big things and you keep dropping threats, and then eventually they're going to whiff on having an answer. So it looks like he's just going to start dumping minions. Give your general +3 attack. That's going to do 2 damage to me because of his artifacts. He's going to kill a minion, and there's going to be his artifacts are gone. So that's good for us. A 3/3 backstab. Okay, perfect. So what I'm thinking we're going to do here, because do we have lethal? Actually, I think we have lethal. Yeah, we do. We win. I'm going to say well played, because that's manners, and that's game. And there you go. So that's the basics of how this game works. You level up. Only if you win, you're allowed to tip your opponent 5 gold. I generally do this if they emote with me and if they're interactive. You know, like if the game is not only close, but they were a nice opponent, I do it. I've never had to report anybody. Again, with the emote system, there's not too much need to report anyways, and you can add them as friends, which is great. And here I am. I'm in silver, and every my first what? This is not correct, actually. That's interesting. I think there might be a bug where you get your first one of the day bonus multiple times in a row, because I was just clicking through it, and I've seen this already a couple times today. I'm pretty sure, because I had dailies to like play. Yeah, this is not my first one of the day. And they're very, very willing to give you gold, which is wonderful. I wish I had a little bit more. I'd show you how opening an orb looks. You buy them here, and then you drag them in, and you open them. But yeah, that's Duelyst. That's a good basis of how the game works. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you soon.